Ready? We can go ahead.
How many of you know, or at least knew someone with Alzheimer's disease? It's a horrible disease that slowly kills the brain cells. It's a form of dementia, but it's not exactly the same thing. It's a disease that affects pretty much the brain cells and causes everything to slowly die. There's a few different stages, but they all affect everyone differently on how long each one lasts. It also affects the friends and family of the patient. It's a type of dementia, but since it's not the same thing, what's the difference? Dementia is the general term for a decline in mental ability. According to the Alzheimer's Association website, Alzheimer's is most common dementia, an overall term for conditions that occur when the brain no longer functions properly. Alzheimer's causes problems with memory, thinking, and behavior. This is a picture of an Alzheimer's brain compared to a normal brain. Normal brain is over here, and as you can tell in the Alzheimer's, it's much smaller and it looks like it's starting to shrivel up and die. So you might be thinking, what is exactly Alzheimer's? It's a disease that slowly kills your brain. Alzheimer's.org says the rate at which the disease progresses is different for everyone. It affects the attitude, and some patients sometimes even lose control of their emotions and just randomly get upset, and no one knows exactly why. Alzheimer's is usually broken down to either 7 or 3 stages, but today I'm going to talk about the 3 stages. The first stage is called early onset Alzheimer's. This is where changes in the brain, they might change years before anyone notices anything. In this stage, they might forget a name or a word or something simple like that. The second stage is called moderate Alzheimer's. You might forget dates or activities, or this is where they would get upset randomly that no one knows why. And this is also the stage where usually the patient might get lost easily or start wandering and end up going somewhere they don't know. And the final stage is called severe Alzheimer's. This is where they might forget where they are a lot, and sometimes they might even forget who they are. This stage, they usually have trouble communicating. They usually mumble, groan, or most of the time they'll just stare blankly and not understand what you're even saying. This is also where they become very vulnerable to diseases, and one of the main diseases that Alzheimer's patients get is pneumonia. My grandpa, who had Alzheimer's, ended up dying with this disease. Many patients can live an average of 8 to 10 years with the disease, but some even can live up to 20 years. But others, like my grandpa, may only have it for a couple of years. He was diagnosed in 2008 and died in 2012, so he had it for just under 5 years. He went through all stages very quickly. It's hard to watch someone go through this disease, but it's even harder for the family. It affects the patient, but since it affects the friends and family, they're the ones that have to watch what happens to this person that they've known for a long time. When my grandpa was diagnosed, we noticed that he wasn't acting quite himself. He would forget simple things like putting the milk away, or he would forget to take the dog out, or sometimes he'd even forget about some meetings and stuff at work. But the thing with my grandpa was, his memory decreased much faster than the normal Alzheimer's patient. My family decided that since it was decreasing this much, he couldn't stay alone. He couldn't stay home alone by himself much more. So we decided to look into some options. And his memory was getting really bad in 2011, where he forgot even family names sometimes, or who others, people that he's known for a big chunk of his life. And he'd even forget where he was. Even in the house that he lived in for over 25 years, he'd forget where the bathroom was and all that. Sometimes you can hear stories of people being put in Alzheimer's care units. They're like nursing homes, but they are specifically for Alzheimer's patients. My family decided to hire someone to stay with my grandpa while my grandma was at work or had to run some errands and stuff. But when my grandpa found out that he was being watched, he got very angry. So we didn't know what to do. So we decided to put him into an Alzheimer's care unit. He loved it. And so one day he got randomly upset and he had to be taken to a hospital to hopefully find a medicine to prevent his anger. It took about a month, but we were glad that they found something to help. Within that month, his memory went down very, very fast. He forgot places, people, eating, and even how to dress. And so we put him in a different nursing home. According to EBSCO hosts, they say, from years of observing people visited in long-term care, I know you can fill up the heart of someone whose memory has holes in it. And Smaller says in her book that it's hard on both patients and family. My grandpa died a few weeks after being put into this new nursing home. I can still remember the day that we got that call. My family doesn't want anyone to go through this as we did. So we raise money and awareness, and we walk the Walk to End Alzheimer's every year. It just happens to be on my birthday this year. We hope scientists can quickly find a cure for this horrible disease. Overall, Alzheimer's disease is a horrible disease that kills the brain cells. It's a form of dementia, but it's not the same. It's a disease that affects the brain, causing forgetfulness. And there are several different stages to this disease, and it not only affects people with Alzheimer's, but their friends and family too. Alzheimer's has been a huge part of my life, and I'm spreading awareness, so hopefully you can know what Alzheimer's is and how it affects people.
Thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you.